I've been really disappointed and disgusted with this whole MrBeast Chris Tyson situation. And understand, I'm not disgusted with those two here, right? So for those who haven't seen, because you're not chronically online, let me break this down. MrBeast, biggest creator in the world. And part of his crew, a friend at day one, is Chris Tyson. And over the last little bit, Chris has been on the receiving end of comments about his changing appearance, with the general gist of these comments being incredibly negative. And Chris actually came out earlier this month in response saying, hey, I've been receiving hormone replacement therapy. Though Chris hasn't come out as any specific identity yet, in his Twitter bio saying he uses any pronouns. And also adding in a separate post, informed consent HRT saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles gender non-conforming people have to jump through to get life-saving gender-affirming healthcare in a first-world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies. And explaining that it was initially very nerve-wracking to go public with his choice, but seeing so many people learn more about HRT has been amazing. While we saw so many of Chris's coworkers and friends like Carl and Jimmy just showing support, you also could not miss the absolute wave of hate that he received. Or whether it be tweets going viral, videos getting tens of millions of views, or people saying things like they hate the new Chris, I can't believe he's doing this to MrBeast, bringing up his family. People posting videos saying someone needs to beat sense into Chris. And this whole situation getting an even bigger spotlight on it today because a creator by the name of SunnyV2 posted a video titled, Why Chris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for MrBeast. And while much of the video is like people saying this and people saying that, there are weird moments that seem to kind of like frame this as a business decision. There is a comparison made to Disney.
This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended, and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie or video.
But this is a real person that we're talking about. This is not a character in a movie. This is not a business decision. Though I do agree with the idea that this could be a damaging situation for MrBeast. It shouldn't be, but it is. Right? It feels like we're at this crossroads. We might be about to see an inflection of MrBeast hate, especially if those who've been filling their bank accounts thanks to the right-wing grift and anti-trans movement go, hey, is it safe to go after MrBeast now? Right? He's got literally the biggest audience in the world. He's been non-political. We could probably siphon a ton of his viewers. Just statistically, there are going to be a lot of people that do not support Jimmy standing by his friend and supporting his friend. Especially because MrBeast isn't just letting his friend get beat up in public while he just sits there in silence. Responding this morning to that SunnyV2 video saying, yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my fucking friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off.
A new member has entered the fray. This battle is no longer fought just by people like myself or, you know, people in this community, but also someone like MrBeast. I've been talking to him for the past couple of days and he has been in shock about how the reception of Chris coming out as trans has been on the internet. Why? Is that a bad thing? Should we get mad at MrBeast for being in shock? No, we shouldn't. You want to know why? Because that kind of shows you how all normies and people who are not super well read on this stuff don't even see the issue. They don't even understand it. A SunnyV2 video came out, Why Chris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for MrBeast. And MrBeast responded to it. This new SunnyV2 video feels really invasive for all the wrong reasons. Like, why did you make this? You delved into the man's marriage and shit. It's just really off-putting and unnecessary. MrBeast responded and said, yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. I can tell you without a shadow of doubt that he's been seeing this shit and he's very frustrated. From what I understand, Chris in his personal life has a lot of friends that are super supportive, and that's very important. But because he also is a public-facing person who had to go through, you know, their own transition, their own confirmation of their own gender, and that journey is going to take some time. There's gonna be some changes that come, as far as I understand, from what I have seen of people who have went through gender confirmation, even in this community, right? But there's a lot of confusion about that sort of stuff, and most of the people that want to talk about it are right-wing psychopaths. Okay, we are gonna watch this video, but the reason why I mention this is because, I mean, ultimately, a lot of people, for all the trans people in here, a lot of people do see this, okay? Remember, if you have people in your lives who have defended you publicly, a lot of normal people see this kind of thing and go, holy fuck, these people are fucking insane, because they are insane. So remember that. They are the fucking deranged ones, okay? The people who make it their life's mission to try and like erase trans people out of existence, they're the fucking freaks. They're the nut jobs, okay? You are not alone and it's not your fucking fault.
Why Chris will soon be a nightmare for MrBeast. This is a real serious video that a 3 million sub commentator has just uploaded. So, as many of you guys know, Chris Tyson, who appears in majority of MrBeast's videos and is a personal friend of his, recently announced in a tweet that he's been taking hormone replacement therapy for the last 3 months.
I'm gay.
I'm a lesbian.
I am actually pansexual.
I am transgender.
I'm Chris from MrBeast.
And this is my pawn shop.
I can't believe MrBeast did this to Chris for coming out crying emoji.
Time to see if they've updated the gender list. They have 63 genders up there, but they can't have my gender.
Chris Tyson,
Wow, this guy is excited.
longtime MrBeast collaborator. Well, he sparked a media frenzy when he showed up at a Nickelodeon award show looking a little bit different. Now, fans, they were quick to post comparison photos to social media, where one even got a reply from Chris himself, who stated, HRT, and it's only been 2 months.
2 months. Anyway, so you guys have been spamming me nonstop to talk about Chris from MrBeast coming out as transgender, or whatever he came out as. I don't know the specific term. He's taking hormone replacement therapy and he's trying to live his life as a woman now. And I've seen a lot of different responses to this on the internet. Some people are calling this like evil and it's the worst decision ever. And on the exact flip side, people are saying that it's brave, it's beautiful, it should be celebrated. Some people basically heard the news that Chris Tyson came out and responded with basically this sort of level of celebration. And I kind of want to talk about what my thoughts on this whole thing are, because I sort of have, I think, a nuanced opinion on this. And I think a lot of people are kind of in like an echo chamber to where they only hear one side of basically this whole thing, where they either think, oh, this is beautiful, this is brave, this is awesome, and everybody who they talk to is saying the same thing. Or on the exact opposite side, you have people saying, this is disgusting, this is utterly unacceptable, we have to get rid of this immediately. And then everybody who talks to them say the same thing too. So there's these echo chambers.
Hey y'all, it's Guy. I'm back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk about Chris Tyson coming out and beginning a gender transition. Now, they haven't specified exactly how they identify. They're using any all pronouns, but right now we do know that they have been on hormones for about 3 months. Okay, they are taking estrogen to transition from male hormones into female hormones. Okay, so that is actually really good for the trans community, right? This is gonna put big public figure that's trans, and is going to expose this to a lot of people. People are going to be seeing this in a fresh light, and he's going to be able to educate people on this topic. All right, so let's get right into this. Now, the internet is going wild about this, and as you can see, I just played a bunch of clips from different people, and you can see there's a wide range of reaction. Now, particularly, I want to zone in on what Acheeto was talking about there. He's talking about this, there's a wide range of reactions, and most of the reactions seem to be on 2 extremes, and they seem to be involving these echo chamber type communities, right? So you got people on the far right, they are absolutely outraged. They think this is disgusting. They think that maybe MrBeast did this. They think that, you know, he's harming his child now, and that they are a groomer because Chris is transitioning, which is absolutely ridiculous, and there's no precedent for that. And also, I want to touch on something real quick, just with the new content on my channel, right? So a lot of people are saying shit like, oh, you're Blair White now, you're being like Blair White now. Oh, that. Well, here's the thing, I'm different than Blair White, because we're gonna call out these fucking creepy weirdos, because there is a grooming problem going on, right? But it's not everybody. So I want to give props where props are due, and I want to fucking highlight positive shit in the trans community. And this is great for trans activism. A person like Chris has a clean image, and he's tied to MrBeast, who has a clean image, and he's gonna be able to educate people on trans people in a very positive light. So yes, I'm very happy about this. But as Acheeto was saying, there's people that are like fucking jumping for joy, right? There's a level of excitement that's maybe a little cringy, right? And I understand being excited, but let's try to like be reasonable about this. It's a net positive, it's fully good, and I understand why trans people are getting excited. Let them be excited, but don't make it out to be everything. At the end of the day, this is one individual, and they don't speak for everybody at the end of the day. Trans people are not a monolith, but it is going to be an overall net positive. So, you know, I'm genuinely happy about that. you know, it really is disgusting to see the hate that this person's getting. You got people like SunnyV2 where they do these fucking, like, they do these right-wing ass documentaries and try to, like, make it seem like it's an apolitical thing, man. A bunch of dog whistles and bullshit. SunnyV2 sucks. Fuck SunnyV2. They're a piece of shit. Yo, I am proud of my boy Bowblax, right? Because Bowblax is a commentary YouTuber, right? And he hangs out with that same, like, edgy ass crowd, right? But Bowblax is very supportive of trans people, and that's great to see, man. That's really good to see. So yeah, I'm happy about that. And it's just good to see people like Hassan and Philly, you know, obviously continuing to support trans people with their massive platforms. So yeah, I just wanted to put this out here, signal boost this. And yeah, and I've talked about MrBeast too, so let me hit on that real quick. You know, my criticism of MrBeast is I don't think he's the worst guy, right? He's showing his character here, standing up for his friend, being a good homie, you know. He said, Chris isn't a nightmare, he's my fucking friend, you know. Fuck SunnyV, he's a nightmare. Yo, the way he talking about this person, talking about like he's a character in Hollywood or something, it's so stupid, man. That's a person. SunnyV2, you would think of it as a character, because like the way you portray yourself is like you're just like a voice on a documentary, right? Like, so you probably don't think of yourself very much as like an individual. You know. But anyways, to get back on point, I've been very critical of MrBeast, but my criticisms are that I think he makes his money in a dishonest way, but I mean, ultimately I think he means good. So like, I don't know how much we need to focus on those criticisms, but yeah, I just feel like I don't like how he's kind of presenting himself in a disingenuous manner. I understand that's to be ad friendly, it's just not my flavor, right? So I have my critiques, but as MrBeast the guy, I think he's probably a pretty good guy. I just thinks he makes his money in a dishonest way. That's the critique at the end of the day. Anyways, yeah, so Chris out here transitioning, we'll see how this goes. It's gonna be exciting, man. And fuck the conservatives, fuck SunnyV2. Peace out, bitches. Have a good one.
Rain, rain, I hear a passion fucking calling. Every single second, know that I be balling. Gotta make it so I'm focused, no, I'm not falling. Every single time, no, I'm answering that calling. Gotta make it, so I'm working harder. Yeah, I played it smarter. Wanna be a star, man, gotta work your hardest. So I played it smarter. You be fucking dumb, got you wanna run. No, I gotta make it, so I be focused. I can't lose sight of what this really means. Gotta make it count how I wanna blow up, make a large amount. How like I'm 2 Chainz, maybe I could be just like I'm Dre. Hey, why the fuck you fake? Make me wanna pop out with a Draco, but fuck the fucking hate. So I be down bad on my only, smoking by my lonely, smoking thinking like I'm Durkee, yo. I'ma pop a perk, feeling like I'm perky, yo. Been down bad on my only, so I gotta stay on my 10 toes, just like I'm Nahab. Oh my bad. Swear I'ma be a legend when it's all said and done. I'ma be the one. I don't understand all the traumas of this life, so I'ma just run to the bag. Gotta make it count, how gotta make it last. I can't end up in the past. Yeah, know that I'm a blast. If I get that pass, I'ma run it up. I don't give a damn. Yeah, this is just my life. It's just how it is. You don't understand, and you can't get up in my brain. No, I'm never saying, hey, traumatized from my fucking pain. Hey, you's a fucking lame.